Welcome to another ICP update. So this wave count right here pretty much got invalidated. I mean, this cannot be a 3-4 setup, so I'm just going to take this off for now. And I think this is actually turning into a different kind of structure. Now let me explain. So after hopefully bottoming in the second wave move down right here, we went up in 3 waves to form an A wave, and now we are going down in a B wave. I will label it very soon, by the way. And I don't know if the B wave is already in. It could obviously go lower than that, but once we complete the B wave, which by the way should not go below this low right here, so if we go below this low right here, then that will invalidate this scenario as well. But it could also be an overshooting B wave, so it's very unclear what will happen right now. But let's say this is a B wave. After this B wave, we should get a C wave, and that should put us at least the 200% extension right here, and that is at $11.40.8. Oh, I'm sorry, not this 200% extension. I'm gonna get rid of that. This 200% extension, and that is at $11.62.8. Hold on, this needs to be moved. So the correct level, I'm sorry for this, is $13.79 for the third wave right here. That's the minimum target. Now obviously, for a third wave move that only has an ABC structure, we could only get to the 1.618 extension, so I'm gonna keep that on the chart as well. And you know, maybe this was actually the A wave, maybe this was the B wave, and this was the C wave of the A wave. And if that is the case, I mean, the C wave was not really that good looking, you know, but if we manage to start bouncing now, then I'm gonna forget about it. And also we are kind of below the trend line again. Well, not below it, but we are in the trend line, which is concerning to say the least. But we could always bounce, I guess, but we'll see what happens. And also we got above the bull market support band after we had a cross right here, and this pretty much looks like a rejection. So if we want to stay bullish, we need to bottom in the B wave right here, and then we need to start the C wave, and we need to get above the bull market support band again. Now, like I said, this whole wave count is still very questionable, obviously. I mean, it could always form into some kind of triangle, but for now, I will remain bullish on ICP. If you look at the 4-hour chart, we went to the oversold territory, which is a good sign because usually when we go oversold on the 4-hour, we bounce after that, so we should get a bounce very soon in my opinion. Now, if we do get another low, like I said, that low is not really allowed to go below this low, so be careful with that. Now, ICP is still looking quite strong, and you have to keep in mind that we are still in a 1-2 setup, and I'm still expecting a third wave move up. Now, obviously what we've had so far, I mean, this is a mess right here. It's not really that good looking, but the first wave did have an ABC structure. The second wave had some kind of 5-wave move, I guess, or maybe even an ABC structure. And the third wave will also have an ABC structure. So I think we are fine for now, but like I said, we have to hold support levels. And let's say we get a third wave. If we get a third wave, I'm then expecting a fourth wave and then a fifth wave, and the fifth wave right here should get to at least this 200% extension, which is at $16.17, let's say. And that will complete the third wave of this 1-2 setup right here. Then after that, obviously we'll need a fourth wave move down and then a fifth wave move up. And once we get these 5 waves, I will be able to confirm that the main second wave right here is in. Until then, I mean, this structure could always break down. Now, I don't know if it will break down because ICP is holding up quite well. I mean, many altcoins actually got a lower low right here when we had a Bitcoin crash, but ICP did not. So ICP is obviously holding support levels, but you know, maybe it wants to test the trend line again. As you can see, we tested it 3 times already. But if we do that, and I think it's going to be very likely that we get another low in the second wave move down right here. Oh, and I did not talk about that yet. So after topping in the first wave move up right here, maybe this was a wave, maybe this was an overshooting B wave, and maybe now we are heading in a C wave. Now, I don't know if that's the case. Obviously, that would not be the best case scenario because we would have to go below this low right here, which, would not be the best because I believe this went to the 0.786 extension, and we would be very close to going below this low as well. So let's hope this is not the case. Let's hope this was not an overshooting B wave. And let's hope this is not a C wave, because if that is a C wave, then it's going to be very likely that we break down and we get another low in the second wave move down. So like I said, this whole thing is very, very questionable, but ICP is still looking quite strong. Now, I was talking about the 5 waves. Once we get these 5 waves, and by the way, we do not really have to get 5 waves, maybe we'll only get 3 waves. I mean, that could also be the case. I don't want that to happen, obviously, but if we do get 3 waves, then the third wave should get to at least the 200% extension right here. And I mean, that would not be good because we kind of need 5 waves to confirm that a structure has bottomed. Well, the 1-2 setup has bottomed. And if we get 3 waves, I mean, that's going to be very, very, I don't want to say concerning, but it's going to be very questionable. Now, if we go on the daily chart, as you can see, we kind of dropped on the RSI. We dropped quite a lot, actually. And obviously, I don't think we're going to the oversold territory on the daily. I think that's unlikely now, but you never know. And we never actually went to the overbought territory, so I don't think the pump is over. I still think we'll get to at least $12.35, maybe even $13.79. And then we'll get a correction when we will get the fourth wave move down right here. And I don't know if we will go to the overbought territory if we get to these levels. I mean, I think it's likely that we will. And also, I want to talk about Bitcoin dominance for a second. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, I mean, maybe you could say that it has topped already, but in my opinion, I don't think it has topped. I still think we'll get another high. And if that's the case, then it's very likely that ICP will continue doing absolutely nothing for the next few weeks, maybe even months. Now, why am I saying months? Well, I don't want to get into it right now, but to explain this in the easiest way possible, in the previous cycle, Bitcoin dominance topped in December of 2020, which was a halving year. So if we are copying what happened in the previous cycle, then maybe we'll top in December of 2024. And if that is the case, then we would have to go sideways for another 2 to 3 months, which would not be good, obviously. So maybe we'll get an altcoin season in October if we do not start breaking down on the Bitcoin dominance chart by, let's say, October 20th, then I think it's going to be very likely that we top on the Bitcoin dominance chart in December and not October. And does that mean that ICP will get another low in the second wave move down? Well, not necessarily, because I believe Bitcoin will start pumping very, very soon. And I still believe that it will go to 100K by the end of the year. So ICP will most likely pump as well. It will just not pump as much as Bitcoin will. But once Bitcoin dominance gets to 60%, and once Bitcoin gets to 100K, I think that's going to trigger the altcoin season. And after Bitcoin gets to like 100K, maybe even 150K, it will drop a bit. And when it goes up again, that's when the altcoin season will actually start. I mean, that happened in the previous cycle as well. Bitcoin went from about $9,000 to about $40,000, and the altcoins were not really doing anything. But after it got a correction, and after it went from, after it went from about $40,000 to about $28, and it got this move right here, this is when the altcoin season happened. So, maybe we will start the altcoin season later than expected, which I don't know how I will feel about that. We've already been in a second wave move down for the past 6 months now. So we kind of have to finish the second wave move down. And obviously, if we go to 100K on the Bitcoin chart, I think it's very likely, like I said, that we will not get another low in the second wave move down, and we will actually start going up. And maybe we'll actually complete these 5 waves first, then we'll get the correction, and then we'll get the altcoin season. So while I'm not expecting ICP to go in a third wave overnight, I'm still expecting it to go up in the short term at least. Now, maybe it's not going to go up as much as people are expecting it to, but that does not mean that ICP will not get an altcoin season. I mean, I see no indication that we will not get an altcoin season in this cycle, but you never know. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.